It is time to breathe again on the latest Breath of Fresh Air webcast, streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So, you see Patrick Brackett with me, Charles Taylor, and we are back this week to go over NFL picks. So, this is our NFL preview show where Patrick and I will pick who we think is going to win the divisions, the wild cards in each conference, and finally, who we think is going to be in the Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. It is in the Arizona Cardinal Stadium in 2023. So, Patrick, without further ado, let's get right to it, man. And I guess we're going to start with the NFC because the defending champion, Los Angeles Rams, are coming out of there. So we'll start in the NFC West, where you have those LA Rams starting defense of their title come Thursday. Season kicks off Thursday when they host the Buffalo Bills. And then we will have all the rest of the games coming up on Sunday. And then a Monday night game, I think it is the Denver Broncos and Seattle Seahawks playing in Seattle with Russell Wilson returning to Seattle. You have the Rams and the San Francisco 49ers and those Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks in that division. Patrick, who do you have winning that division?
I mean, look, the defending champs came out of this division and they signed some really good contracts. I mean, 99.5% of these same team is showing back up. Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, man. I got the Rams.
That just that simple, huh? Do you see anybody else threatening them?
Oh, absolutely. San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah. So you know me, man. Everybody knows I'm a 49er fan. It'll be going back and forth with it. I think I'm with you with the divisional pick. I think it'll be the Rams winning the division. And the rest of the teams, all right. I think the 49ers can be very strong. The defense is ready to play. They have the offensive weapons. Of course, the ultimate question mark is Trey Lance and how he's going to take over that starting position. I believe if he's able to get up to speed with the running game coming out of the backfield with Elijah Mitchell and Hasty and some of those dudes, Kittle, you got Deebo Samuel re-signed, the 49ers can be a threat. But the Rams, they do look very strong on paper, and they made some upgrades to that team, bringing in Allen Robinson for the receiver to play with Cooper Kupp. You have Bobby Wagner you picked up as the middle linebacker who played with Seattle for all those years. And everybody else pretty much returning. Of course, Aaron Donald, you got Jalen Ramsey. And then on offense, like you mentioned, you got Matthew Stafford. Now, with Matthew Stafford, I want to watch his elbow because apparently he's been kind of having some elbow issues, but he said he's good to go. So we'll imagine. We know Matthew Stafford is about as tough as they come. So even if he was hurting, he's going to try to gut it out. He's just that dude.
He played in Detroit for 12 years?
Yeah.
And I'm going to say a little cuss word, so he's used to getting his ass kicked.
Which is true.
It's plain and simple, man. So he's probably looking at it, dude, it's an elbow. Have you seen the crap I went through for 12 years? Come on, it's an elbow. I'm good. That's fine. This is Matthew Stafford, and like you said, he's as strong as they come, man. He's relentless. He's resilient. He's strong, and nothing. I can tell you right now, nothing is going to keep him off of that field for the next 18 weeks. He's got a title to defend, and he plans on defending it. So he ain't going nowhere. He's fine.
Yeah, he is as tough as they come at that quarterback position. So if he's able to gut it out, I expect him to put up big numbers again this year. And yeah, Cooper Kupp, He might have another, what was it? Some crazy 1900 yard season or something like that.
Crazy. He's gonna have another historic season.
Yeah.
Be ready, because that tight end / wide receiver / miracle is probably gonna freaking do his thing, man. He is. Seriously.
So the Rams do look strong. I mentioned the 49ers, so I think they could be a threat to them. I think they'll be the only threat to them in that division, because Arizona, I see them taking a giant step back. I just think how everything went down with Kyler Murray and that whole situation. I just don't. I never see him as a leader, as a guy who's going to uplift that team, somebody that they could get behind. I just see them falling down, taking a step back. And Seattle, they won't say it, but they're rebuilding. They're rebuilding.
They're putting a new roof on the house. What are you talking about?
You're right.
We're ready to play. We're ready for the rain. Okay. Okay, Seattle.
Exactly.
Monsoon, it don't matter.
Right. I think the Rams, defending champs, and it looks like it's probably their division to lose. We both agree the 49ers would be the biggest threat to them, and Arizona and Seattle falling down. So, with that, let's move on to the. We mentioned this division a little bit when we were going through our contender versus pretender series, because we mentioned two of the teams in there, the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. But in the NFC South, you have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're defending champions in there. Tampa Bay we'll see. Tom Brady, we'll see about him. I'm not really concerned about him at this time. I know you and I, we're not worried about Tom. We think he'll be there. He'll be ready to play. The offensive line, not looking that great. We'll see, because they've been injured. They've had some key injuries to some people. We'll see how they return. And then if they're able to return, if they're able to protect Tom, then there's going to be big time numbers put up. Of course, your longtime Atlanta Falcons receiver Julio Jones has joined Tampa Bay to come there with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and those dudes. And the defense looks good on paper with all those players: Devin White, Shaquille Barrett, Levante David. You got big old Vita Vea on the line, plugging everything up. And then the coaching. So you have a new coach. Todd Bowles takes over for Bruce Arians. So Tampa Bay has, I won't say they're question marks, but some things to they got to kind of like plug some things up a little bit. The New Orleans Saints, Carolina Panthers, as we have mentioned before, wild card teams. Not wild card as we think they're going to get one of those wild cards, or maybe we think they will. We'll see. But we'll see. Don't know.
I give you a sneak peek.
Yeah, but they're a team. They're both teams. If they're able to reach their capacity, they can make some noise, or it could go way, way south. Just don't know. Just depends on how it plays. And then you've got your Atlanta Falcons, who, well, we had already said they're pretty much rebuilding anyway. So, so with all that said, Patrick, who do you have winning the NFC South?
I mean, look, you covered every aspect of what the NFC South is about. So Tampa Bay, there you go. Everybody, look, out of this, and you said you don't want to put it as question marks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Tampa Bay, but let's just say they are. Let's say they are question marks. They have 90,000 times less than the other three combined. I mean, come on. To me, look, we obviously know Atlanta's not going to do anything. I mean, Mariota, Okay, no sad. So moving on. New Orleans. Carolina. So I mean, even if it was just by default and we picked Tampa, we that'd be a legit pick. But no, Tom Brady, dude, is Tom Brady, and regardless of how beat up that offensive line is, he makes B players A's. He makes C players B's. He makes D's high C's, low B's. I mean, he elevates everybody's game on the field, regardless of what your status is. And now that you've added Julio Jones, well, I mean, I'm not going to say that that's a huge threat because he's got to stay on the field. But I mean, if he stays on the field, that's a huge threat, you know. And plus, it's going to give Mike Evans a lot of breathing room. You know what I mean? So it's hard to go against that Tampa Bay team. So I got Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I think the Saints match up with Tampa Bay well. Since Tom Brady has been there, they've been kind of that, what they say, the thorn in Tom Brady's side and Tampa Bay side. Although Tampa Bay won the game that really counted when they went on their Super Bowl run. But the Saints do match up with them. You mentioned those teams and the question marks. The Saints have a good defense. It's just really a question mark of what they bring on offense, because they have guys who are coming back from injury, like Michael Thomas, hasn't played in 8 years. Okay, sorry, at least 2. But if he can come back and reach that status he was before he signed a contract and then went away, then you have somebody who can be a good complement to Alvin Kamara coming out of the backfield as the running back. They drafted Chris Olave and brought in Jarvis Landry to boost up that wide receiver core. And then you have Jameis Winston at quarterback. Question mark there. What are you getting out of him? He was playing well last year, but he got injured, I think in October of last year. So we really didn't see what he could boil down to. And then also, Patrick, you have a new head coach in Pete Carmichael. I think it's Pete Carmichael taking over for Sean Payton. The Panthers, if they can protect Baker Mayfield, you can win with Baker Mayfield. And I know you and we have talked mess about Baker Mayfield. Lots of times. We done put him in the STFU club a few times. So yeah. We've talked a lot of mess, but he is a guy you can win with if he is able to stay healthy and he gets protection. Yeah. Yep. And then you have Christian McCaffrey. You know he has to stay healthy. They have weapons, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, to throw to. It's just a matter of can they protect them, and because it's not going to matter if you can't. That offensive line does not play better, then no matter who's back there, it's going to be a long day for the quarterback. And then Carolina also has a good defense, solid defense as well. So those two teams, I think, have the talent to give Tampa Bay some challenges. But yeah, I'm with you. Tampa Bay should win that division, looking at it from the big picture point of view. And then the Falcons, I think the one thing I want to watch with the Falcons, man, I know we don't see them doing too much for the season, but I think the one thing I want to see is how early do they bring Desmond Ridder in? Do they go ahead and they play him? Because Marcus Mariota, we both know he's pretty much a stopgap there. So do they bring in Desmond Ridder, and then what are they going to do going forward at the quarterback position? I think Ridder is good enough to where he can take over that position. And if he's able to, the Falcons have 2 young, good weapons there. They have, who you got? Kyle Pitts. And then the receiver they drafted out of USC, Drake London. Yeah, Drake London. So they're starting to build some blocks there. And Arthur Smith. Okay, I got to get your question about this, Patrick, since you are a Falcons fan, before we move on. I've seen articles where it said Arthur Smith, the head coach, is in the hot. He's in the hot seat. And I said, dude, this is second year. I don't believe that at all. I mean, they're rebuilding the team.
Nothing in Atlanta has him in the hot seat.
Okay.
Nothing in Atlanta has him in the hot seat. I mean, as a matter of fact, even Arthur Blank, the owner, is even made comments. Is like, no, we understand where this situation is, and we understand that this is going to take a few years to build, but nothing that I heard in Atlanta says that he is in the hot seat.
Okay, see, and that's what I was thinking too, Patrick. I said, this is second year. They're rebuilding here. Nah, I'm not seeing a hot seat. Now, hot seat is Matt Rule, the Panthers head coach. Yeah. That's the hot seat.
That's a hot seat.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, that thing is on fire.
Yeah.
Sorry. That thing is on fire, and I'm surprised that he has not burned his ass yet. Because when it does, he's out.
Exactly. So we're in agreement there, Patrick. Tampa Bay win in that division. I get the feeling we're going to be in agreement for this next division too, the NFC North. So I'll just ask you this, Patrick. We can both agree that we feel the Green Bay Packers are still the team to beat in that division, and they're going to win, right?
Yep.
Okay. So what I'll ask then, because I'm with you, I don't see the Green Bay Packers losing that division either, is which team out of the Minnesota Vikings, Chicago Bears, and Detroit Lions can potentially, maybe, do something to where, if not win the division, contend for a wild card spot?
None of them. I don't even. I mean, there's not even a potential there. I mean, I guess if you're saying, hey, I need a team, I'd probably go with the Chicago Bears. But other than that, I mean, but I'm not even going to put them even close. I mean, Packers they're going to be the legit team in that division. There's really no contention. I honestly see the Packers already 6-0 just in their division alone. And honestly, it might not even be any contest. So I wouldn't pick any of them.
Yeah. So I'm not a believer in the Vikings. I just can't believe in Kirk Cousins. You could call it Kirk Cousins hate if you want. I don't care. I just
Numbers
think,
don't lie.
I just don't think you're not winning with him. Like he's your ultimate empty stat guy. If you need a fantasy quarterback, Kirk Cousins is your man. You go ahead and see if you can get him, because he is going to put up numbers. He has receivers to throw to, and Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Thielen's been getting beat up a little bit the last couple of years, though. So we're gonna see if he can stay healthy. And then you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield. So we'll see if Dalvin Cook can stay healthy. When he stays healthy, he's a weapon. He can run for 1,400 yards and also catch the ball for 500-600 yards on top of that. So lots of stuff he can do there. But the Vikings defense, to me, lots of question marks. And again, you have Kirk Cousins there. So that kind of disqualifies them for me. Even though they have a new head coach, I think that's an upgrade, because I felt like Mike Zimmer was not good as a head coach. I just felt he was just kind of holding them back more than anything else. You have the old LA Rams offensive coordinator taking over now, Kevin O'Connell. So maybe he can bring a little bit more out of Kirk Cousins. I mean, I don't know that, but it's Kirk Cousins. I just don't see it.
I don't know how much you really can bring out of Kirk Cousins at this point.
He's just kind of is what he is now, right?
He kind of is what he is now. And regardless of who you put in as a head coach, and I agree with you, that is a substantial upgrade from what they had. But at the same time, I mean, you're only going to get what you're going to get out of Cousins, and that's it. So and he's already set in his ways. So there's that. So I don't think you're going to get anything out of him.
And then with the Bears and Lions, okay, so the Bears and Lions, this is building block year for them. Now, I think I'll start with the Lions first because the Lions, their record didn't show it. I mean, they did look like they were same old Lions, just 4 or 5 win team. But when you break down
they were like hoping in their wins.
Yeah, but even when you look at their losses, they were in all those games. I think they lost 3 games by last second field goal. I mean, they got beat on a 66-yard field goal.
Oh yeah, wasn't that Baltimore?
Yep, Justin Tucker, exactly.
Of course,
and
that dude can take the length of a freaking state.
Yeah, right.
He's like, I'm gonna. Hey, look, I know I'm in Atlanta, but I'm gonna hit that field goal in LA. Watch it.
You're right.
And he's like, how far was that? 9 million miles? Holy cow!
Oh man! So they lost.
All the fans in LA are going, where did that come from?
You're right. They're looking up in the stands and just see
Tucker. He's playing in Atlanta. Yeah.
You see a basketball or a football coming in the air out of nowhere.
The refs are all like this. Wait, well, hold on.
Yeah.
Man, they haven't done anything yet. They're still in a timeout.
But they also lost a couple of other games to last second field goals. Minnesota beat them on a last second field goal, and I think the Bears beat them on a last second field goal on Thanksgiving Day. So I mean, the Lions could have walked up on 7-8 wins. They tied Pittsburgh, winning overtime. No one won that game. So I mean, Detroit. I don't know. I haven't seen Hard Knocks. I mean, I guess they're the team that's on Hard Knocks this year. And I mean,
What a dumb show.
You know, Hard Knocks used to be pretty good. I'd stop watching it because when you have a good show and then it starts to get commercialized and stuff, and it kind of loses the authenticity of it a little bit. I mean, Hard Knocks is still all right, but I'm not going to sit down and watch it like I did before. You know,
I'm surprised they didn't have a spinoff of like something like The Housewives of Hard Knocks.
The Housewives. that Patrick, watch out. They might do that next.
Oh, crap. We know millions of people watch this show, so
yeah.
Here's your next show. And if it happens, whoever done it, this show said it, pull my cut. 10% off the top.
So Detroit, I think, can actually make some strides and maybe become a 6-7 win team. I think they're a 6.5 is what I want to say is the over under for them. For the win total. I can see them coming over that. I can see them getting 7, potentially 8 wins. Then maybe they are starting to turn a little bit of a corner in Detroit. You mentioned Chicago. Justin Fields coming in there. I would have liked to see if the Bears could have got more weapons for him. I don't think they really helped him out in that department. But, I mean, the Bears have new head coach, new general manager, too. They have Matt Eberflus, who was the defensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts before taking that job. And they have a new GM as well. I want to say his name is Ryan Poles. I could be wrong on that. Please fact check me on that, Patrick, if you can. But yeah, they have a new regime coming in, and it's going to be important to see what they could do with Justin Fields coming into his second year. And then we talked about Minnesota, and then of course we both have the Packers winning this division, and Green Bay looks strong on defense. On offense, they still look good. I mean, they still have Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon running the football. Of course, we know they lost Devontae Adams to the Las Vegas Raiders, and we'll see if those young receivers can step up. But if Aaron Rodgers is that guy, we expect him to bring the best out of him, right? That's what we should expect. Elite guy. You never want to take away, or you never want to really bring in someone's contract. But the man is making $50 million a year. You better be able to damn sure bring some receivers up to play. So, other than that, man, I mean, I think we're in agreement with everything that's going on. So far, 3 for 3. We got the Packers winning that division. So,
you said Brian Paul, right?
I said, yeah, Ryan Poles, I think is what I said.
Yeah, there's no Ryan Poles on Chicago Bears.
Well, that was off. Who's the GM then?
Oh, the GM. That's right. I forgot to put the GM part in there.
Okay.
Hold on.
All right.
Sorry.
It's okay. So as you're looking that up, man, I'm gonna bring up the NFC East, and we have these 4 teams. You have the Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, Washington, whatever they are now, Commanders. There we go. And
yes, Ryan Poles.
Ryan Poles. Okay, cool. The Commanders and the New York Giants. So, I guess a quick little breakdown before you pick your winner, Patrick. We know the Cowboys are the defending champions in that division. We also know the Philadelphia Eagles. They're making a lot of moves, good moves, bringing that team up to speed. The defense overwent a lot of upgrades. And then you have the offense trading for A.J. Brown. There we go. I couldn't think of the name at the time, but yeah, they traded for A.J. Brown to get him from the Tennessee Titans. And then they have a good running game with Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts as the quarterback to see if he can go ahead and take the stride to solidify that quarterback position for them. The Commanders, they traded to get Carson Wentz on the team. Looking at it on paper, that is a upgrade from Taylor Heineke. How much? That will depend on how good Carson Wentz plays. We will see. And then you have the New York Giants. They're just kind of bringing it up. Bringing up the rear.
Good.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about that team. We already know where they're at.
But, I mean, hey, they have a new regime coming into, new GM, new head coach coming in, and they're going to have to find out what they have in Daniel Jones. This is prove-it year for Daniel Jones. So, and then we know they'll have Saquon Barkley coming back, the receiver Kenny Golladay coming back. So a lot of guys just have to prove it because they've been hurt, injured, or just haven't really lived up to par. So that's the story with the Giants. So, Patrick, with this division, who do you have? Oh, and keep in mind, before you give your answer, the Cowboys won that division last year. There has not been a repeat winner in the NFC East since the Eagles did it in 2004. So, with that said, who do you have?
It's not going to happen this year either. So, I got the Eagles, and I'm kind of rolling the dice on this one. I kind of feel because the Cowboys have a good team. The problem I have, and it's always going to be the problem I have, is how good is Prescott going to be with all of those weapons? And sometimes I think that he has this tendency to have all of these weapons, but yet he still only shoots one gun. You know what I mean? And to me, it's always been a problem, and I always think it's one of those things that holds Dallas back. If he decides to use all of his weapons, Dallas becomes then very dangerous. But I also think that Philadelphia team, in my personal opinion, was one of the teams that made some of the best moves during the draft, made some of the best moves. All out, made some of the best moves. Substantial upgrade in the defense. Few things that they needed, and they covered and addressed all of their needs on offense. Special teams was pretty good from last year anyway. So I got the Philadelphia Eagles winning.
Yeah. I think, you're right. This is a roll of a dice because I think if lots of ifs here, but if the Commanders can get the defensive line playing back to the level they were before last year, and they do get a good version of Carson Wentz, they can make some noise as well in that division. Now, having said that, like I said, haven't been a repeat winner in that division since the Eagles did it in 2004, and I'm with you. I don't think that's going to happen this year. To me, the Cowboys they don't look good, man. They took a step back.
And they got injured already.
Yeah, they don't unless they can get the running game really, really situated with Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard. I don't see that really working out well. I know they're going to try to put the ball in Dak Prescott's hands, but I just don't think that's a good thing. I don't think you can put him back there. Excuse me. I don't think you can put him back there 45, 50 times to throw the ball. That's not a recipe for success to me. It's just not, because I don't think teams feel like he can go back there 50 times to throw the ball and beat them consistently. So you're going to have some balance there. If they can't get the balance, good luck to the Cowboys, and they're going to take a step back. I'm pretty much with you there. I think the Eagles are ready to ascend to win that division. And really, if for nothing else, Patrick, it's by default because no one has been a repeat winner for 2 decades.
Exactly. And that's a good point. I mean, that division has been mediocre at best. But here's the problem with the rest of the NFC. We're just trying to run into a lot of mediocrity in the NFC, dude. A lot. So even with all of that, there's a good possibility that you could have 2 teams rising out of the East with wild cards. And that's kind of weird. I mean, the fact that I even put wild cards, 2 teams in the East, all in one sentence, is insane. I mean, this is the world we're in right now. I don't know what's happening, but this is the world we're in right now.
Well, Patrick, speaking of wild cards, who's the 3 wild cards? Since you just said it, because I feel you are right. The NFC looks like they have a lot of mediocrity in there. So which teams will join, in our eyes, which teams will join the Rams, the Bucks, the Packers, and the Eagles in the playoffs?
So here's crazy enough. Cowboys. I got the Cowboys as one of them. I got the 49ers as the other. And I had to throw y'all off a little bit, but I got the Panthers as the third one. This is the world we live in right now.
Oh, man. Well, I have the... of course, I'm with you with the 49ers. I have the Cowboys missing the playoffs. I just think they've taken a step back so bad.
The problem is this is the problem with the wild cards, is that pick a team. It don't matter, because all the way the case may be, the division winners are going to beat them. Period.
So I have the 49ers. I have I'm with you on the Panthers. I went back and forth between them and the Saints. And what I keep on coming back to is the Saints just have so many. To me, they have more question marks than Carolina does. I just feel slightly better about the Panthers than I do about the Saints. I mean, it's slight. I mean, it is ever so slight. But I think the Panthers will get one. And then I was fighting between, check this out, Patrick. I was fighting between the Vikings and the Commanders.
I'm going to wait with the Commanders, hopefully.
Yeah, I did. I am going to go with the Commanders here. Again, no belief in Kirk Cousins at all. And I know people would ask, well, what about Carson Wentz? You got to believe in him. It's not necessarily I have a belief in Carson Wentz, but I have more belief in the coaching there. I do think Ron Rivera can get the best out of him. And with that, I think Carson Wentz will be good enough to be able to make some plays, get some things going with them, and ultimately get that spot. So there's mine. 49ers, Panthers, Commanders. How about that?
How about that?
Yeah.
That has not happened in several years that we are that close.
Exactly. It has been a while. Well, Patrick, hey, man, so let's move on over to the AFC, and we'll just go from top to bottom here. We'll start in the AFC East. where you have the Buffalo Bills, New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins, and the New York Jets. We know the Buffalo Bills will be opening the season with the Rams come Thursday night. And a lot of people like the Bills. They're the odds-on favorite, actually, to be in the Super Bowl and perhaps win it. Looking really good. Josh Allen, looks like he's ready. Looks like he is ready to take that step into elite category status, getting some votes there to potentially win the MVP. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what strides he can continue to make. And then you have the Patriots, second year with Mac Jones. And then you have the Dolphins. There we go. Tua Tagovailoa, what is he going to do? Can he do something with those weapons that are coming on in? You got Tyreek Hill in there. You already have Jalen Waddle there and Mike Gesicki, and you have a pretty good defense. So it looks like the Dolphins might be ready to compete. And then you have the New York Jets, and they're the Jets. Now, to be fair to the Jets, they had a very good draft. And so they have some young talent that might be ready to ascend under Robert Saleh, who is in his second year coaching. But I'm sure you and I would agree they're still probably going to be last place in that division. So who do we have? So who do you have winning the division? Well, okay, I'll put it this way. I'm pretty sure you got the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll just do this because I have the Bills winning too. Can the Patriots or Dolphins make it interesting for them?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And I mean, dude, I've been a huge fan of Mac Jones even throughout last year. And I still think that this kid is going to do big things in New England. I don't know Tom Brady big, but he will do some big things. And but yes, I think both of those teams will make it very interesting.
Yeah, Miami they could be very explosive. I'm not the biggest fan of Tua. It'll be interesting to see how he could do.
He'll catch anything that he throws, so that's going to be a bonus.
Well, Tua, I think what can help him out is he's actually coming in with a little bit of a clear mind, a clear status now. There's a lot of clutter around him. I mean, you have the owner potentially throwing games. The head coach was going back and forth with them. Brian Flores, the owner, of course, Stephen Ross. I mean, he just got handed down a suspension from the league. It's a lot of mess that was going on around Tua, but now he's coming back healthy for the first time in a while, and he has those weapons. So it's definitely going to be interesting. It's a put up, shut up year for him. And then with New England and Mac Jones. So Mac Jones, to me, like, I'm not as high on Mac Jones as you are. I think he can but you can win games with him for sure. So you just need him really just to kind of manage the game and not give the big mistake. New England, they have a good defense. They have some weapons on offense. They have two good tight ends. They can run the ball well, and they have Bill Belichick. It's not like us to go against Bill Belichick. We're going to trust him over pretty much everything else. So, yeah, but I'm with you though, man. Yeah, Buffalo, they're the team to beat in that division, just looking strong with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs to throw to. They upgraded the pass rush by getting Von Miller as well. The Bills look like a team, they're just going through those growing pains. They're learning how to win, and they're going through some heartbreak along the way, but maybe this is the year where they start to break through. So it's going to be interesting to watch them. But as it's been throughout this whole webcast, you and I agree that Buffalo will win this division. Yep. Now, Patrick, we might start to differ with these divisions coming up. We'll see, though. AFC North. Okay, so you have the Cincinnati Bengals, Baltimore Ravens, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Cleveland Browns in this division. Tough division. Looks pretty tough. Yeah.
Right here.
Yes. And so when you look at, okay, let's start with the Bengals because a lot of people forget. Hello, they were in the Super Bowl last year, but they're not really being talked about a whole lot. They're kind of just flying under the radar, and a lot of people just feel like this was a one-hit wonder. Yeah, a lot of people think this is a one-hit wonder here. I'm not so sure about that, but we will see. But when you got Joe Burrow coming back with those weapons, Jamar Chase, Tyler Higgins, T Boyd, or excuse me, T Higgins and Tyler Boyd. There we go. Burrow can be right there in the MVP discussion as well. And then Baltimore, I think Lamar Jackson's coming in ready to prove something. I think this dude is very, very motivated. And if the Ravens stay healthy, they're as dangerous as anybody else in the league. Yeah, in the league.
All of the ball.
Yeah. The Pittsburgh Steelers, wild card to me. Because Pittsburgh, well, okay, number one, they have Mike Tomlin as head coach. That's good enough for me right there. Yep. They're going to play defense. If they get coherent, okay, let's put it that way. If they get coherent quarterback play from either Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett, it looks like Trubisky's going to be the starter for week 1, which actually the Steelers will be in Cincinnati for week 1. So there you go, right off the bat.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Quick. Yeah.
So,
like it.
But if they can get coherent quarterback play, Pittsburgh can get in the playoffs. They could. Najee Harris running the ball, Chase Claypool and Deontay Johnson to throw the ball to, Fryer move at tight end. They just need the offensive line to step up. If they can do that, Pittsburgh is dangerous too. And then Cleveland, you know you're going to get Deshaun Watson back around week 12, 13 after his 11-game suspension, and we'll have to see if Jacoby Brissett can hold down the fort. Cleveland looks like they have a good roster on paper. So if they do come back with Watson at around 5-6, 5-6, maybe even 4-7, we'll see. Then maybe they could do something to maybe sneak into the playoffs, and then we'll see. So this is a very tough division, Patrick. Where are you going as far as a winner?
There's not really much to say past what you just did, so I'll just give you my winner. I got the Ravens.
Okay, we agree.
Did that surprise you that I got the Ravens?
Yeah, I thought you was gonna go toward the Bengals, and if you did, I mean, why not? Because
they did make the Super Bowl last year, and what else can you say about Joe Burrow except for his entire team is returning, and now he has one more year of experience? How could you not go with that team? I get you, but look, from what I've seen, Lamar Jackson is for real right now. He has got something to prove, and this guy makes his own. He's his own manager. So, who better to tell you that you need to go out and invest in yourself, and who better to tell you that you need to go out and play your ass off than yourself? How about that? And man, I haven't seen this man this motivated in a long time. So I with that, I gotta respect that. So yeah, I got the Ravens.
Yeah, I just think the Ravens are so damn. I love the Ravens, man, and I'm just saying that just because I'm looking at what they're coming back with, and I look at how last year went for them, because they had injury upon injury upon injury. They lost their whole starting running back core before the season even started for injury, and then they lost their defensive starters at corner, Marcus Peters, Marlon Humphrey. They went out for the year. Their offensive line saw injuries, and before Lamar Jackson went down, they still had the best record in the AFC at that time that he went down, even with all that. So if they're all coming back healthy, even halfway healthy, this is a dangerous, dangerous team. And John Harbaugh, one of the best coaches in the league as well. We talked about Mike Tomlin for the Steelers. John Harbaugh is every bit as good there. And so I'm with you, Patrick. I just think the Ravens have so much to prove. Highly motivated. Lamar Jackson, highly motivated. He can have another MVP candidacy too. I think he's going to put up big numbers too. I think he's going to put up what they say McDonald's numbers.
Number 1, number 2, and number 3 because that's how many times I'm getting in the end zone.
Yeah. So yeah, man, I'm with you. I think it'll be very, very close. I think Cincinnati is going to be good because Cincinnati, they just upgraded. They upgraded their offensive line, which was the major weakness of their team, of course. And
again, like you were saying, even with Baltimore, look at what Cincinnati did with what they had.
Yep.
I mean, they made it to the Super Bowl, and their team was, I mean, let's be completely honest, their team was not a Super Bowl team. They had very good pieces that put them there. Joe Burrow being one of the lead ones, but man, now they got that entire line shored up to protect Burrow. Now Burrow has a line that he can actually sit behind for 2 or 3, maybe even 4 seconds. They're just as dangerous. And Burrow's got another year of experience, man. That team's gonna be good too. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good conference or a good division.
It is. I couldn't agree more, man. And I was actually going back and forth with it between Baltimore and Cincinnati, and I did have Pittsburgh in the mix too because I just think Pittsburgh is just laying low. Since Tomlin's been there, they have not had a losing season, so they've been really, really consistent. And if they could make the playoffs with the corpse that was Ben Roethlisberger throwing the ball, and look, nothing against Big Ben. Big Ben was a great quarterback. Yeah, he just wasn't that guy anymore. And so, but they did that with him basically throwing 5-10 yards down the field. So you get coherent, like I said, coherent play. The Steelers are very dangerous. And so it's going to be a fun division to watch. But yeah, I'm with you, man. I have the Ravens winning this division as well. So let's move on, Patrick, to the AFC South. And in this division, you have the Indianapolis Colts, Tennessee Titans. I should actually mention the Titans first because they won the division last year. So there we go. Titans, Colts, the Houston Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I think we understand it's probably going to come down to or between the Titans and the Colts to see who wins that division. The Texans and Jaguars, up and coming teams. I do think both of those teams will be competitive at least. Might not show in the record, but I think they're going to be in a lot of games to where they can make some other teams sweat. But I guess between the Titans and the Colts, man, who do you have taking it?
I got the Titans. Titans, I know that the Colts, and a lot of people say this is an upgrade for the Colts when they got Matt Ryan. But, man, I've watched Matt Ryan for 12 years, man. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think that was an upgrade. I don't think he moves the needle what everybody thinks he moves the needle. I do think it will be close. I do think Matt Ryan does bring a little bit more of I don't want to say experienced quarterback, but he does a better leadership. Let's put it that way. He does bring better leadership to that Colts team, which is something they really needed anyway. So I do think that they will do better. I don't necessarily think it was a quote unquote upgrade, but I will say this: they'll make it more interesting. But at the end of the day, man, the Titans are just too strong. They are, and I got the Titans winning that division.
7 for 7, Patrick. I'm with you. I do have Tennessee winning this division as well. Same thing. You said it all. Matt Ryan is not that much of an upgrade to me from Carson Wentz. Now, maybe in the leadership department, yes, and maybe that is the ultimate difference they need.
No, they need more. They need more than that. But
I mean, no, I mean in terms of maybe when because you said it's close. It's really close with the division between them and the Titans. So maybe that I don't know if the Colts because a lot of people think they can make a run to the Super Bowl. I'm not there with the Colts at all. No. But maybe with that leadership, he can make a game difference to where that could be the difference between them winning the division or them winning a wild card, or perhaps not making the playoffs at all, because the AFC, as we know, is loaded. So I always question how much of an upgrade that was. I'm with you there, because people were saying, "Oh, it's great. This is a huge upgrade." I don't know. I'm going marginal upgrade. But I'm with you. I just think the Titans, with Derrick Henry coming back strong, Ryan Tannehill is regular season good. We'll put it that way. He might throw up on himself in the playoffs, but regular season he could at least do enough to get the Titans to a title. They have a good defense as well. The Colts actually have a good defense too. It's just a matter of, I guess, who you trust more between Ryan Tannehill and Matt Ryan. And like you said, Patrick, you watched Matt Ryan for 12 years. It's hot or cold with him. So yeah, you might be getting a little bit of a marginal upgrade, but let's not act like Matt Ryan does not throw questionable interceptions his own selk. I mean,
all I'm saying is I have to live it, and even with him gone, I'm still gonna have to live it. 28-3. Need I say more? So he gets to carry it with him, but nobody's saying it to him.
That's true. Yeah.
On the other hand, we have to hear it every freaking day. And then if we watch SportsCenter, which I really don't watch much at all, but if we do, there it is, right in our face every freaking year at the beginning of the year. How well is Matt Ryan going to do? 28-3.
And then I just think I trust. Another thing with Tennessee that I give them a nod. I trust the coach more. I trust Mike Vrabel more over Frank Reich. A lot of people think Frank Reich is a good coach. I'm not there. I don't think he's that good. That debacle in Jacksonville, I can't get that out of my system, Patrick. That debacle, that garbageness they showed at Jacksonville last year when the playoff berth was right there for them. I'm sorry. That is an indictment. That is an indictment on the head coach there. That team was not ready to play. And everybody was so quick to throw Carson Wentz under the bus. And I get it. He didn't play well. I know. I get it. But the whole team busted.
Nobody played well in that game.
Yeah. The whole team no-showed. All of them no-showed. That is on the head coach.
Yeah. I mean, Carson Wentz didn't throw that good of passes. But at the same time, man, come on. Even when he did throw a good pass, it was dropped.
Yeah.
Nobody caught the ball. I mean, I think he went 1 for 55.
The 1 for 55.
For 10 yards, and all of them were like horrible.
And 10 interceptions. He had his whole season total of interceptions in that game.
And 9 of them were pick sixes. I think the kicker missed 5 out of 6. Everything. What we're saying is basically is if it could have went wrong for them, it did.
So, oh man. So Patrick. So before we got one more division wild cards and then Super Bowl picks. So we got a few minutes. So we got to get into it. AFC West. All right. Try to be quick with that one. A lot of people think that this might be the best division on paper. You have the Kansas City Chiefs, Las Vegas Raiders, Denver Broncos, and the Los Angeles Chargers in there. A lot of good quarterbacks between Patrick Mahomes, Russell Wilson, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr, and this division looks to be loaded. So maybe if there is a disagreement to happen between you and I through this whole thing, except for the one wild card team in the NFC, maybe this is the division where it happens. Who do you have winning this bad boy?
I got the Chiefs.
Okay, never mind. Go ahead.
I got the Chiefs because, I mean, look, it's like this. Prove me wrong. Please. Teams, prove me wrong because nobody's done it yet.
Yeah,
I don't see anything else. There we go. I'm done.
Got to see it to believe it, right?
You have to believe it.
So I'm with you. I have a slight edge. I'll give a slight edge to Kansas City. I do think they will miss Tyreek Hill a little bit. And I know people are going to say, well, they still have Patrick Mahomes. They still have Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy calling the plays. I get it. I still think the offense will be okay. Tyreek Hill was a difference maker guy. And when you have that threat to take the top off of any secondary at any given time, that's going to be a
4-1 or whatever that dude runs.
That's going to be a lot to replace. Having said that, I do think the Chiefs have enough on offense. They're going to probably run the ball more with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and they have a lot of receivers. They still have Travis Kelce there. We'll see if Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and Mecole Hardman can continue to step up for them as well. But I know, right? I know. I don't know how I got those names. I know, but
oh my God.
But the Chiefs made some upgrades on defense too, and that's what I'm looking at because I think that will make a big difference for them. Now, with all that said, Patrick, I do love what the Raiders are coming with. They, with Derek Carr and them picking up Devontae Adams, if they can get some defense, they'll be good. And then the Broncos, Russell Wilson, he's going to have to show me he can be elite. And with the Chargers, same thing. They're just going to have to show me. Everybody's hyping the Chargers up. I'm not buying the Chargers until they show me something. Make the playoffs first. Justin Herbert, he's not the greatest thing since sliced bread yet. Stop it with all that talk. He's going to have to show me too. So
the crazy thing is I'm not really impressed with sliced bread.
There you go.
Cards at my old age. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. So, Patrick, let's get these wild card teams in there, and then we'll give our Super Bowl picks. Who are your three for the AFC?
Raiders, Bengals, and Pats.
Raiders, Bengals, and Pats. You know what, Patrick? I'm kind of right there with you, dude.
I will say this. I was going back and forth on the Pats and the Steelers for a long time. Like, when you sent me that text this morning, it's like, hey, this is what we're going on. I'm like, oh crap, I got to do my picks. And I've been debating on the, but I knew my picks pretty quickly because I already had man. I can tell you that one right there between the Pats and the Steelers. I've been going back and forth on that one for probably 2 days, 3 days. It was hard. It was hard to pick.
That is so funny because I was going back and forth between, because I was pretty confident with the Raiders, and I'm pretty confident with the Bengals as well. I do think the Bengals will get in there. The Steelers and the Pats, that one was pretty difficult for me too. The Broncos was in that mix as well. I'm not buying the Chargers at all. Sorry. And but yeah,
I didn't even consider.
Yep. The Dolphins was also close in that as well. There's 4 teams that's right there in the running. But yeah, I'm with you. Raiders, Bengals, and Patriots. So you have the Raiders, Bengals, and Patriots. Both of us have the Raiders, Bengals, and Patriots joining the Bills. That's crazy.
One team.
That is wild.
That's it.
That is wild. So we have them joining the the Ravens, Bills, Titans, and Chiefs in the playoffs. Wow. All right. Well, Patrick, Super Bowl time. Who do we got before we get on out?
So this is crazy because I've been going back and forth on this one as well because the teams in the NFC they're hard to pick, right? The Rams are going to be good. We all know that, right? Bucks, we got Tom Brady, but again, I'm not. There's a few things that I want to see. Packers, I'm sorry, one and done, and Eagles, not enough experience. So with that being said, I got the 49ers coming out of the NFC.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Because I do too.
I got the 49ers coming out of the NFC.
Oh, man. All right. So let me give you my AFC pick real quick because I'm ready to pick the 49ers too. I think Trey Lance is going to figure this thing out and get it going.
I think you picked it that quick. I don't think there's any hesitation. and Jimmy Garoppolo is gone by week 4. I'm dead serious.
So you think he's getting traded?
Oh yeah, he only got picked up just to get traded.
So
they're gonna get Lance another weapon. Garoppolo.
So I have in the AFC. This was tough. I was right there between the Ravens and Bills, and I was going back and forth. The Chiefs were in there too. I ended up going toward the Bills. I think the Bills will pull it out. I was so close to picking the Ravens in this, but yeah, I have the 49ers and Bills, man.
Me too.
That is wild. Listen, y'all. We have never been on point like this with each other ever. This is wild. We only have one different wild card team in the NFC. That is wild. Oh man. Well, there you go. So there was our picks. There y'all have it. Y'all go ahead and y'all chime in with y'all picks and write them in the comments. If y'all catch this show later on or something, go ahead and write those picks. Let us know who you have. And with that, that will conclude this edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. Y'all make sure y'all go to the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel and smash that subscribe button and keep the likes coming on follow the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page. So until then, we'll have more of a normal show where we're going to go through college and the NFL. So yes, we are aware of what went on in college. Sorry we didn't get to it today, but yeah, but we will. With your college and the NFL both back in full swing, we will be covering it all. And also Major League Baseball pennant races are starting to heat up in the last month of the season. So a lot coming up when it comes to sports. So join us over here at Breath of Fresh Air as we enjoy the ride, and y'all come on and ride with us. But until then, everybody enjoy the games, and we will see y'all next week.